You had a lot of possession in the game tonight, and yet it feels like you were well beaten. Would you agree with that?
Oh, that's a tough one, I would say. I think we of course we don't get the best possible start when we concede 2 early goals, and then it's a mountain to climb, and that was too difficult for us tonight. I think there was moments in the game where I think we were actually close to creating some of the dangerous moments that we want. But of course it was not a good performance from us. But I think in general it was a slow game out there.
How do you reflect on the goals you conceded?
Obviously not good enough. I don't think we see the danger quick enough on the first one, and the second one we give a stupid foul in a situation where we are reading the situation good enough, and we are first on the ball and can just keep on passing instead of being a little bit too sloppy and a little bit too undecisive in that moment. So not ideal.
Yeah, 5 games without a win. Did you see a sequence like that coming? You surprised by that?
Of course, you always go into every game to try to win it. It's a competitive league, and you can see if you can get 2 wins or 3 wins in a row, then you can really change the picture. But it can also go the opposite direction quite fast. And it's been many games away from home, especially also where we know that's difficult in this league. And then of course, obviously the situation that we're in with the limited options and situations like that. So we deal with it, and we have to find good answers to the last game before the national break. But I think it's good for where we are at the moment that there's a break after the Saturday game.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
Yeah, how much is this run now, Johannes, injuries and obviously young players coming in, or do you expect more from the group who are still available?
It's difficult to say. I would say I always expect a better performance than what we did tonight. I don't think it was close to being good enough. But it's also for me, and I think the staff, to find that balance. What can we actually expect? And now we've seen, I think, a good performance in most of the time in Cardiff, and then tonight where it was not close to being good enough. So it maybe also tells us that where we are with this group, I don't think we should lower the expectations, but we should be realistic, and I think that's important going into the game on Saturday.
Were you measured in what you said to them at half time, full time, or have you expressed that's not the level you expect, even with the injuries and all the adversity?
I think the easy road to go down is to be emotional and to tell the players that it's simply not good enough. But I think the way we have to go is to find out how we deal with the situation at the moment. I don't think it's the time for me to be too tough on the group. I will be if it's mainly experienced players not performing well. That's a different scenario. That's not the scenario and the case that we are in at the moment. So here we need to find that balance and make sure that we support them the best possible way, because it is a group that needs some extra support and maybe needs some clarification on how we do things and what we can actually expect going forward.
Especially the first half as well, which is where the damage was done. Do you think maybe just the way it ended Saturday psychologically, maybe there was a factor there with the players?
You never know, and I think the psychology in it is of course always important, because what we see at the moment is that it's players that were not maybe leaders to begin with in this season, and now where they have to take a lot of responsibility, which is not always easy. When you still struggle maybe with the level, with the tempo, with the intensity, with your position, with your own work, and then you have to reach out to some of the others as well, and that's a lot to demand from me, and I don't think it's the time to do that. Like I said, if it was compared to the team that we play with against Hull or Watford or some of these games, and let's say the performance was like it was tonight, then I will be more demanding and also more clear in what I exactly want from the players. But here we need to be a little bit careful. In
terms of drilling down at some of the details, how much of a concern is it goals conceded now? That's 10 in 5.
It's way too many, and there's no chance that we can get points or any good results if that's going to be the case going forward. So obviously we have to look at that. I don't think we conceded too many chances today. I know there was a big one within the first couple of minutes, a cross to the back post, and then obviously the goals, which I don't think is necessarily big chances, but it's conceded goals, and that's definitely we have to look at.
And obviously the other end of the pitch, you've had a lot of possession again tonight, 70% odd, but not created enough of the good chances that you would want from that weight of possession?
No. We were not even close to being dangerous enough, and definitely not creating the moments that we wanted to. And I think maybe second half got a little bit too emotional again. We tried with too many individual things, dribbling in too tight areas instead of moving the ball quick enough. And I think what we tried to open up for was more crosses, was more chip passes to the back space, which didn't work out for us. So it was a slow game with a lot of free kicks, with a lot of stops, with a lot of situations that we could not control, and that was exactly what we didn't want.
I know you wouldn't sort of use the injuries as an excuse, but have you experienced anything like this in your coaching career? Anything at Nordstrand that approaches?
No, never. We just, I'll not say the word survive, but we have to until the after the game on Saturday and see who's fit. At the moment, I count 15 or maybe 16 available players in the squad, and that's where we are, and we have to make it work, and we have to deal with it and get the best possible results out of it. But of course we struggle, and of course it is a tough time for everyone involved in this, and that's also why I will not sit here and blame any of the players, because that's not the time to do that. We are in it together. So when we win at home and it's everyone is celebrating and enjoying it, we are in it together, and when we lose away, it's the same.
Just following on from that, any update on Gabe Forsyth, how long he might be out?
Yeah, we luckily, unfortunately, it was not what we feared, something with ACL or stuff like that. It seems like it's not, but we're still talking 5 to 6 weeks without any surgery, fortunately. But it's going to take time when it's a knee injury, and it's still for him swollen, and he cannot really move. So not ideal, but fortunately not more severe than that.
Johannes, you said that last half an hour in particular was really bitty, sort of a lot of free kicks and stuff. How much of that was down to the way that Wednesday sort of closed out the game, and what are your thoughts on the referee?
My thoughts of the referee will stay the same, and it will be the same answer every time you guys ask me, because it's not important. It is what it is. I think all of us have a big responsibility when we play games, and it's the same with the refs. I think we have to deal with it better. Of course, read the line in the game, which was, if I have to say something, maybe a little bit difficult to read. But that's how it is. And I think if we were just quick enough in our passing game and our movements, we don't invite for duels. But because we were too slow, we gave the ref the option to give all these free kicks. So it will just come down to us again, because we cannot control the other part.
Thank you.
Right, thanks everybody.